It's not unusual for a company to receive tax breaks from their local industrial development agency, or IDA. Most have gotten one bite of the apple from the Erie County IDA. Fisher-Price and Harbor Center, for example. Others have gotten a handful of deals. General Motors 4, Perry Ice Cream 3. All have gotten deals that save them millions in property and sales taxes. And then there's Moog. The Erie County IDA has granted the company tax breaks no fewer than 13 times since the early 1970s. The IDA has signaled to Moog that it will say yes for a 14th time on Wednesday. This time, the company wants $2.9 million in tax breaks to build a new manufacturing center on its Elma campus. The number of jobs created? 0. Granting the request falls under a gray area of state law, which suggests an IDA shouldn't subsidize a project unless the work isn't feasible without the agency's help. Moog earned $155 million in profits last year. It's won $4.5 billion in defense contracts over the past decade, plus several billion more in subcontracting work. If Moog doesn't get the 14th tax break it's asking for, company officers have said they'll consider taking their expansion elsewhere. Vice President Connie Bynasek said the company already has an offer on the table from Utah.
Lieutenant Governor had reached out and offered, additional incentives to be able to physically locate and begin to grow there as well.
I don't think it's a crime again, but it's definitely disingenuous. It's definitely unethical.
Jeff Perlman is the director of the authority's budget office, a state agency that has oversight of IDAs.
It's like part of the dance for any economic development project to receive those is that threat of departure, real or not real.
Now, Moog declined our repeated requests for a sit-down interview. But here's what company Vice President Connie Bynasek told me after a recent IDA meeting.
We're intending to do the expansion. This enables us to do it in much smaller.
The IDA also refused an interview request. But Chair Brenda McDuffie defended Moog's latest subsidy request when I approached her after a recent meeting.
It's not that they can't afford it. It's not always a question of affordability.
Okay.
It's a question of, in return for what you're doing, and we say this to everyone, in return for what you're doing, how does this benefit and contribute to the larger community?
The tax breaks come at a cost. Moog's application to the IDA says it would save it $2 million, revenue that would otherwise go to the county and the state. The town of Elma and the Iroquois Central School District would be out an additional $901,000. Moog has enjoyed tax savings of $9.9 million on 5 deals still on the books that date to 2006. That's tax revenue not going to the schools, the town, county, or state. State data shows school districts alone have lost $2.3 million since 2014. Moog, since 2017, has also received more than $23 million from the state in corporate tax credits tied to job creation. And while the company is on track to create those jobs, Greg Leroy, a corporate welfare watchdog, is critical of the IDA and Moog.
It sounds to me like the company is a serial grubber, tax break grubber here, and that at some point the IDA has to say enough is enough.
But it looks like Moog is going to get its requested tax break, just like it has in the past. For Channel 2 News, I'm J. Dale Shoemaker with Investigative Post.